Very simple, very effective action plan for all. Okay, now, first step, set a goal. I want all of you to take this moment right now. What's the first goal you're going to set for yourself? Right now, when you leave the room, what's the goal for yourself? You've learned so much, you've accumulated so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so many strategies. What's your first goal? What are you going to do? Just write it down now. What are you going to do? Set a goal. You say, but I don't know which goal. I like A and I like B and I like C. Set one. Don't be distracted. When you have choice, then you get confused. How about, but I really don't know which one. All these goals seem good for me. Then close your eyes and just do this and then pick one. Because it doesn't matter. When you come to realize, as long as you are action taking and fully committed, you will realize the end path is the same. I got here by going through noodle bars. I got here by going through steel business. I got here by building orphanages. Right? The path will lead to that thing. If you keep following calling, it will lead to that thing. But it doesn't matter what you commit to now, but you need to commit to something. Has everybody got a goal down? Give me a yes. Yes. Who has not yet got a goal down? Everybody's got a goal down. If you really don't know what goal, then copy your neighbor's goal, okay? You got to do something. You can't leave this event, I don't know what to do now. Do something, okay? So you all got a goal. Everybody inhale. Slow, exhale. Take the first step. So what I want you to do now, I want you to write down, what is the first action you're going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow already. What's the first action? I don't care if it's small action, big action, right? Whether it's small action or big action depends on how big you are. Take a action. I want you to now to write down, what is the action you're going to take tomorrow that is going to give you at least one step closer to the goal? There may be 10 more steps to go, but it doesn't matter. What's the first action step you are for certain you're committing to tomorrow? Write down, what is the action you're going to take? But this is for you. Now tomorrow you act on this. How many of you complete? Yeah? Okay. Number 3, commit. Just write for yourself, commit. Repeat after me, I commit. Say it with power, I commit. Say it again, I commit. So you actually commit, you feel it inside of yourself. Look at the thing you've committed to tomorrow that you're going to do. Repeat after me again, I commit. Right? So you commit yourself to that thing, right? You're not doing anybody else a favor, you're doing yourself a favor here. Then, lock the doors behind you. Now you're probably thinking, what does lock the doors behind me mean? Just write it down for now. First of all, a lot of people, when it comes to goal setting, I don't know what goal to set. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe... Don't be indecisive. Leaders are decisive. You want to be special? Be decisive. Right? People say, but I don't know if it's the right decision. Right? My old mentor many years ago said to me this thing and it changed my life. He said, in life, it's not about making the right decisions. It's about making a decision and making the decision right. Too many times, is it the right decision? Is it not? Who cares if it's the right decision? Make a decision, do it, make sure it becomes the right decision. But I don't know if this decision will work. Well, make sure that the decision will work. It's not about making the right decision. So a lot of people get stuck on decision already. So be decisive. Set your goal. After setting your goal, take that first step. A lot of people don't take that first step. I'll start on Monday, I'll start next week, I'll start next month, No, you start now. You start now. You start now. Right? There's this saying that says, when would now be a good time? I want you to write that down. When would now be a good time? I have that on my wall. I had it for many years on my wall. When would now be a good time? This is NLP. If you learn this phrase so well and it's in your head, it's ingrained in there, every time You think, I'll do it later. The phrase will come back. When would now be a good time? Opportunities happen in the now. Manifestations happen in the now. God is speaking to you in the now. Not later, not in the past, now. And if you're not in the now, you're not acting in the now, you miss the whole essence of the magical powers that you receive in the now to go. So you must act now. When? Right? So, you take that first step. Now, taking the first step, the biggest problem is people have fear. Right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Write that down for yourself. Put that on your wall. Remind yourself every single day. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Why? Because fear doesn't belong to you. Do you know fear, all the things you fear right now is not something you're born with. You're not born with it. You know, kids can happily play. They play with anything. They just laugh when they laugh, cry when they cry. They poop when they want to poop. They do whatever they want without even thinking of what you think, what anybody thinks. They do what they want. They jump when they jump. They sit down when they sit down. They stand up when they stand up. They shout when they shout. Until human conditioning. Until parents say, shh, don't be rude. Until human conditioning. Little baby is there. Sees a spider for the first time. Plays with spider, happily. Plays with spider. Then mum walks through the door. Then what happens to baby? Crying. Yes? Then crying. Next time baby sees spider, what does baby do? Cry. Whose fear is that? Not the baby's fear. Turn to the person next to you and say, fear doesn't belong to you. Fear, none of your fear belongs to you. Your fear was passed on by somebody else's fear. People say, hey, don't trade stocks and shares. It's very dangerous, very risky. Now it's your fear. Do you get what I'm saying? And now it's contagious. You pass it on to the next person. Right? Don't let fear get a hold of you because fear doesn't belong to you. So act in spite of fear. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Your brain is programmed to protect you. It'll always be there telling you why you need to protect yourself. Everything that I was doing along the way, it was there. Even that YouTube video. Don't do it, don't do it. You know, don't do it, don't do it, you know. But I don't listen to fear. I do it anyway. As a result, only 55 million views, huh? What do you feel the fear? Do it. Doesn't matter. Because all of the things that you want is always outside of your comfort zone. We said this from day one. It's always outside of your comfort zone. You say, no, it's not. I think mine's inside my comfort zone. Well, you stay there, see what happens. It's always outside of your comfort zone. The reason why you're not getting the results that you want is because you haven't been daring enough yet. You haven't done anything outstanding yet. But I'm working really hard. So is the other 10 million people. You know? How are you doing it differently? Everybody's always challenged everything that I do. Whenever anybody ever challenges things that I do, that's when I know I'm doing something different. You know, when I did franchise, it was the same thing. I had one noodle bar. I had the audacity to go on my website and say franchising now. I had the audacity to put my mobile number there. When people called me, they say, I want to franchise. Oh, hi. I didn't even know what to say. But I had the audacity to call myself a franchise when I didn't even know what the franchise was. You know, the British Franchise Association, they hated me. Because they say, I don't follow any of the rules. I don't have any of the certifications. I'm not certified by them. I'm not a legit franchise. I said, you know what? On my website, it says franchise, so I'm a franchise. Every move I made was like that. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm sitting with a designer. Imagine that. I'm not a designer, never been a fashion designer before, never been in the fashion industry before. C.A. Howard said, it doesn't work that way. I studied fashion. I say, I don't care how it works. I say, I work this way. We're going to get into Paris Show, we're going to get into Vogue magazine. We're going to do it fast. Everything that I've done has been that way. People don't believe it. That's not the normal way. Good, because I'm not normal. Don't be normal. That's not why you're here. Somewhere in your destiny is written for you not to be normal. Do you know that? Do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know that? Because you are here. What are other people doing with their weekends? You are here. So somewhere in your soul, you are not normal. The moment you leave this door, why am I saying it this way right now? Because the moment you leave this door, if you get consumed again, you will return to normal. But there was some soul desire for you not to be normal. So live it. Commit to it. So we take that first step. In spite of fear. Feel the fear. The fear is there. Good. I must be doing something outside of my comfort zone. Good. Then you take the first step. Take first action. Why do you need to take first action? Actually, it's very simple. It's because I always talk about this thing here, which I talk about portals of opportunity. It's a very fascinating science that I've been looking at this for many years now. Portals of opportunity. When energies come, have you ever had a moment before you're sitting with a friend, maybe having coffee or something? Suddenly you have this idea. You talk to your friend about it, they bounce the idea back. And you bounce the idea back. Suddenly the idea comes like this magical, you don't even know where it's coming from. How did we think of this? This is so amazing. Anybody had a time like that before? Let me ask you this question. What happened? How? Let me tell you, you were chosen. Now, let me tell you another thing. How many of you had that idea? Really, really amazing. And you had an amazing idea before. Then what happens is one day you meet somebody else you've never even knew before. You speak to them and they have an idea which is very similar to your idea. Have anybody ever had that before? Let me ask you a question. How? Did they steal your idea? You never spoke to them. So how? Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Idea is what? Energy. This is all science. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. Idea is what? Cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. Where is it transferred from? It's an emotion. It's an energy in motion. You were the chosen one. There was something belongs in the collective consciousness already in that existence. Then what happens? They find the right vessels that can convey this message. So they choose some people. Now, out of probability, they may choose more than one. Why? Because maybe you're one of those people who don't take action on it. So you don't make it work. So they're going to hedge their bets. Just like some people, they have more kids just in case one kid graduates from high school. I managed to graduate. So they hedge their bets. What do? They choose you, and you on different sides of the planet. Right? And they suddenly channel through this energy while you're drinking coffee. Suddenly you're like, I got this idea. Maybe we should do this. Then they channelize, because they know you're with the other person, they channelize through them too to bounce it off you, to make it into reality. Then that energy is a portal of opportunity, is wide open. Right? That's energy in motion, it's high emotion. That's why during those times you feel so excited to do something about it. Do you not? When you get the idea, you feel this pull. You feel like, okay, let's do this. No, for real, let's do this. This is what you say to your friend. Comes Monday. Okay, we got to go to work. Maybe after work we have a meeting. Comes Monday evening, you got to do something at home. You call your friend up. Maybe shall we reschedule for Wednesday? Then Wednesday comes next week. Then you say, maybe, actually, I need to go on holiday for 2 weeks, so maybe we'll do it when we come back. Shall we do that? Let's set that date. Comes, you come back home. And then your friend says, actually, maybe it won't work. Because an energy source comes in a portal of opportunity. It opens wide open. The moment you step in instantly, that's why I always say speed of implementation. If you step in instantly, the magic, the miracle happens instantly. How do I know? Because every single time I step in fast. I step in fast. When I feel something, I do it. I do everything it takes to make it happen straight away. Because I understand this philosophy about this. Because when you don't, attention, remember? Because energy loves attention. You don't give it attention? Cool. If you don't want this blessing, I give it to somebody else. A few weeks later, you'll have no desire to want to do this anymore. That's why your desire changes. It's like, nah, on second thoughts, maybe we shouldn't do it, you know? It was a stupid idea anyway. They chose somebody else already. Do you get what I'm saying here? Everything happens that way. So that's why it's very important in moments like this, you commit. You do what? You commit instantly. You commit now. You commit when? Now. But the biggest problem here is this. Some people, they go as far as committing, which is you're already very special, by the way, if you get to this point. If tomorrow you manage to commit to what you said, you're already very special because you did it so fast. Within one day, you went from an idea, a thought, a goal to committing. So you already did it so fast, right? So you're already special. However, that's not your journey. Because why? Now the journey begins. Because a lot of people, when they commit, what do? People commit and they get cold feet. You ever had that moment before? Huh? Okay, I'll do it. Finally, you get yourself, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'm doing it. Then say, actually, on second thoughts, maybe we shouldn't. Before? Why? You dip your toe in the water after so long. Wow, it's cold. You dip your toe in the water. Wow, it's cold. You're, okay, I'm really going to do it now. Wow, actually, never mind. You get cold feet. Turn to the person next to you and say, don't get cold feet. But more importantly, this is what I'm saying, right? When you commit all the way. From day one, we already said this. We said, winners finish what they start. We said, winners finish what they start. We say not even they finish what they start. Winners run through the finish line. Are you one of those who start crawling midway? Or do you run through the finish line? You make that decision for yourself. And how do you get that type of commitment where you're not going to get cold feet and back out? Very simple. Lock the doors behind you. What does that mean? It means you've finally gone through the door. And what I'm telling you to do right now, turn around, close the door. Take the key, lock the door. Once you've locked the door, take the keys, throw it away. But don't throw it in the corner of the room. Because when you get cold feet, you will go find it. And you'll go open the door. Somebody at my event once, smart ass said, he said, what you can do, you can swallow it. I said, no, you can't swallow it. Because when it comes back out, you're still opening the door. I said, you are giving yourself no escape. You are locking the doors behind you. You're throwing it out wide into the ocean where you will never find it. And then people say, so how do I do that in practical reality? Actually, very simple. The thing you commit to, now this is the challenging part for you. Okay? Now I know Minnie did it just recently. Minnie said, she said, I'm coming to Wealth Yogi. And then she said, but I've got work. And then what did she do? She went, quit her work of what, 6.5 years? 6.5 years, just quit because she's fully committed. Give her a hand. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. When it's your main source of income and you've been doing it for so long and you're saying just, it takes a lot. It takes courage. With an undetermining factor, you don't know what the outcome is. Do you dare take that step? You don't know what the outcome is. I took that step in my steel business, in my restaurant business. While I was miserably failing as a speaker, I sold both. I sold both. Let me tell you why I sold both. People say, oh, it's still income coming in. But I said, it's consuming my energy. Imagine I'm on stage and I'm speaking about motivation. I used to speak about business and franchising. I'm saying, motivation, be motivated, right? And then what happens is, my phone is ringing. Then my phone is ringing. I come off stage and I say, hey, what's up? They say, oh, we've run out of noodle boxes. I'm just like, come on. I'm teaching people motivation here. Who cares about the noodle boxes? You guys go and buy the noodle boxes. I said, it's consuming my time. When I commit fully. Even my parents at that time, they said, don't be silly. Don't be stupid. Come on, this is your main source of income. At least, okay, if you want to do speaking, you can do that. But at least make money in speaking before you do this. I was moving 45K every single time, losing. But I was fully committed. What's the result? 120K in 1 hour, that's the result. $1.2 million in 1 weekend, that's the result. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm fully committed. This is the thing, where focus goes, energy flows, and results show. My full focus is there. A lot of people, they say, you know what? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I say, no, put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's not the game for you. Do you know who it's the game for? It's the game for the extremely, extremely rich right now. How do I know that? People, they get confused. You look at Richard Branson, look at Warren Buffett, look at these successful people. They got so many different investments. I'm starting as an entrepreneur. I want to be like them. Don't put all my eggs in one basket. They got billions. Not just billions in their account, they also got billions in debt. And they're spreading all that debt and spreading everything. But if you go back to anybody's journey, I don't care which successful person you find, you go back to their journey. How did they become successful? They became successful doing one thing until they became multi-millionaire. That's when they diversified. Now, some losses, some give and take. Do you think, Richard Branson, over 400 companies, do you think some don't make money, yes or no? Of course, some don't make money. But it doesn't really matter to him that much. But if you look, Virgin Records was all he did for many years until it became hugely successful. He was already a millionaire. Then he diversifies. How can you, with $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, diversify? What are you diversifying doing? All your focus one thing. That's why if anything's consuming your mind, which isn't your passion, out. Logical thinking will say, my money is coming there. So what? I'm fully committed in this thing. When you do that, you lock the doors behind you. Do you get what I'm saying? She's handed in her resignation. She's handed it in. It's finished. That's locking the doors, right? My first book, how did it manifest into reality? I was on stage. I said, my book's coming out next month. What's that? Locking the doors behind me. I already sold something I hadn't even wrote yet. Do you get what I'm saying? I had no choice. I have 450 people waiting for my book. They all signed up for my book. I got no choice. And guess what? When you have no choice, you find a way. Do you know that? I want you to write that down. When you have no choice, you find a way. The universe works miracles. You work miracles. When there's no choice, you find a way. Have you heard that story of that lady in China where the kid is being crushed by the car? The lady in China runs up to the car, moves the car, bare hands, moves the car, and rescues the kid. Where does that come from? When you have no choice, you find a way. You need to understand, there's some energy, some power there. I want to ask you a question. How many of you in this room, think about this, think about it clearly. How many of you in this room ever had a moment before where you felt like you may just about lose your life? Like, I don't know what it was. It could be something stupid. Like maybe you're driving, some car coming, or maybe there's someone following you in the middle of the night, or maybe you're just having a pillow fight, you can't breathe. And in those seconds or something, you actually thought, shh, I'm gonna die. How many of you ever had that before? Raise your hand nice and high. Nice and high. Then look around you. Look around you. Right, keep your hands up. Now I want to ask you this question. In those moments, right? You're being honest here. In those moments, you actually did legitimately think you were going to die. Keep your hands up. Okay, so many of you. Now, I want to ask this question. Listen. How many of you actually died? If I was to ask the follow-up question, I say, how? How did you not die? Actually, you can't even answer that question. Think about it. I don't know, I just didn't. It turned out okay. Life and destiny is so interesting, it's like that. And this message here, you can go a long way with. At the moment in your life where you felt like you were legitimately going to die, you didn't die. And guess what? What the harsh reality is. When you do die, you also have no planning and indication to when that is also. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the next moment. That's the harsh reality. So what does this tell you? It tells you, number one, you have zero control. It tells you, number two, even when you feel like you can't do anything and you can't get out of a situation, you somehow did it, and you didn't even move a finger to make it happen. It just happened. And even if you try to control every circumstance, like people going into business, everybody writes a business plan. Everybody tries to write a business plan. They go on Google, download business plan template, write the business plan, think about it for half a year, finally get into business, then guess what? 95% of businesses fail. They planned. When you plan, do you 100% know the outcome, yes or no? When you don't plan, do you 100% know the outcome, yes or no? Either way, it's no. Actually, some things are set in a certain way. So that's why I always say, there's a miracle that has happened. We can't deny. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You're a miracle. Every one of you are a miracle. Turn to the person next to you and say, you are a miracle. You're a miracle. You're alive. You're a miracle. You're under shelter. You're a miracle. You have clothing. You're a miracle. You can breathe. Do you know how much gratitude you should be feeling right now? And yet you say you have problems. What problems do you have? And you worry about things because the interesting, most miraculous thing that happened in your life was you entered into this world. And let me tell you something, and let me ask you something. Did you plan your entrance? Ta-da! Did you plan your entrance? So how did you make such a miracle happen? With zero planning, you made such a miracle happening. Moving child, speaking. Your existence, you can't even remember you planning or creating. Your exit, you won't even know you're planning and creating. The two most important times of your life, you did nothing. You did nothing for. And it happened. When you know, and I don't care what you believe in, who you believe in, who is your God, what's your universe, what's the law of attraction, I don't care what you believe in, science, Big Bang, I don't care what you believe in. But you can't deny something exists that is beyond your power. You call it higher power, you call it God, you call whatever you want to call it. It exists. Because it created you, and it will take you away when it needs to. And if that thing is there, that also protected you when you thought you were going to die, that's why I always have this one saying for myself. Whenever I feel any element of fear, I always say, who am I not to trust? I want you to write that down. You say you don't trust the universe? Who are you not to trust? Who are you? Little ant? How dare you not trust? How can you not trust? Something so powerful that's protecting you all the way, looking after you, you're still alive right now. Through all the different challenges you face right now, you're still alive. And you don't trust. How can you not trust? They're there. It's there. Whatever you believe in, it's there. So when we lock the doors behind you, you make some sort of commitment where there's no turning back. In Chinese, we have the saying called burn the boats, and then you'll take the island. You heard that before? When you burn the boats, you have no choice but to go forward. You can't go backwards. So my question to you right now, the commitment that you've wrote, how do you burn the boats? The goal that you've wrote down, how do you burn the boats? How do you lock the doors behind you? Give yourself one action that freaks you out, that doesn't allow you to turn back. Okay? If it's putting out your first YouTube video, then so be it. If it's drawing 3 lines this way, then so be it. If it's drawing 2 lines this way, drawing a Nike sign this way, it doesn't matter what you draw. Then so be it. Then you do it, tomorrow it's out, it's public. That is your new branding. Okay? Make the commitment. Everybody, a couple of minutes. What is it? The thing that scares you, what is the commitment? How do you lock the doors behind you? This final, last, 5th step, okay? Now you've written down your plan of action for tomorrow. At least we got a short-term goal, short-term plan here, okay? The final thing, let me tell you what you got to learn to do very well. Stay what? Stay solution focused. Stay solution focused. Why do I say that on final step? Very simple. You are entering into somewhere you've never been before. Are you going to see a mountain you've never seen before? Yes or no? Are you going to see a rock in the way you've never seen before? Yes or no? Are you going to see different types of people you've never seen before? Yes or no? As soon as you enter into new space, you will experience things you've never experienced before. People are fearful of change. That's why people are fearful of change. But there's also this saying that says change is the only constant. You can't fear change, because if you don't make the decision to change, guess what? Life will change it for you. And you've had those moments before, trust me, I know. When you don't make your decision to make the change, if you're out of alignment, it will make the change on you. Because destiny has a calling, destiny has a path. And so when we start to understand that, the moment we start stepping through this door, and we've locked the doors behind us, it could be possible that you freak out. And the only way to get you out of that, right, is to stay solution focused.